Hey traders, D7 here with Grok Trade. Sorry for the delay in videos. Guys, I've been traveling and I'm back at the end of the video. I'm going to share with you a moment of time that I had that was off the charts exciting for me. But let's get into the markets immediately. First thing I'm going to share with you guys is the US 10-year bond versus the 2-year bond. I'm not going to go into great detail on what this is, but a bond pays yields. A 2-year bond should pay lower yields than a 10-year bond. So if you tie up your money in a 10-year bond, it should pay you more money than that of a 2-year bond. Every once in a while, the 2-year bond will pay you more than the 10-year bond. Okay, so the shorter time will pay you more. That is called a bond yield inversion. It inverts, and it doesn't happen often. What I want to look at here is a chart, and you can do this yourself. If you look at this area right here, if you type in US 10Y minus TVC US 0 2Y, you will get this chart. And then when you add that, add the SPX to this chart, which is this gray line or blue line. This blue line is the inversion, where it shows the inversion. So it's the 10-year minus the 2-year. The red line coming across is the 0 line. It says 0 up here, but this is it's the calculated 0, okay? What we're looking for is this. Here's the concern. If the bond yield inverts, goes below the red line, down here, goes below the red line, below the red line, below the red line. If it goes below the red line, that inversion 100% of the time signals a recession. The last 6 times, a recessionary pullback takes place in the markets with double-digit unemployment. It's 100% so far. The only caveat is the short drop that we got in the Corona crash, okay, because it rallied back fast. Now, the question I had was, what happens to the markets after an inversion rights itself and gets back above the red line? I want to show this to you. If you look here, this is a monthly chart, so we are very, very, very dialed in on a lot of data. This data goes back to 1995, and if you look here, you won't be able to see it on this chart, but we had it inverted slightly here. So the red line is when this blue line ticks back above the 0 line, this red line. So when it ticked back above, we had a major sell-off in the markets. It doesn't look major on this chart. This is a monthly chart, and that was a nasty drop in 98. Okay, nasty, nasty little drop. You come here, and this is the 2000 technology bubble pop in 2000. That tech bubble pop had a significant drop to the downside. This inversion is seen here below the red line, and when we ticked higher, it dropped significantly. If you come here, we had a drop, and we had a small pullback right here, but then it dropped and inverted again, and then it popped back up. Then it gave us a double top. We got 2 inversions, and those were inversions righted above the 0 line. When that happened, we put in an M for murder. Guys, this is October of 2007. Do you remember what happened in 2008? The great market crash, the financial crash right there. So when that inversion happened, we got a couple of them in a row and then a big, big inversion. You look over here, it's slightly inverted, and then it righted itself. A couple months later, major drop to the downside. This here was the Corona crash. Now, let me go forward. We touched the line, we popped back up, and we inverted heavy down here. See how we're inverted? Now we are heading back higher here. When we cross back above this 0 line, this red line, when that happens, we are expecting a major market drop. Why? Because that is what we have always seen in the past. That is coming. So there you have it. I showed you on TradingView how to find this chart yourself. You can do your own study. I plotted all my own lines on here. You can do the same. All right. Now, let's get into the daily chart on the S&P 500. Let's move at lightning speed. You have a lot of lines going on here because all of them are relative. I get rid of the lines that are no longer relative. But if you notice, these two lines had been here in a while. Look how, and I haven't done a video in a bit. So look how that trend line acted as perfect support. It came down, acted as perfect support. Boom. So these trend lines that I had been there forever, watch my other video, acted as great support. I think this, hold on, I'm not sure. Was this line on my last video? That's a good question. I know this one was, but I don't think this one was. This one wasn't. I added this line just now. So, but this line acted as perfect support. That was good to see. I added this line. So we have an ascending, an ascending triangle. Ascending triangle. It's a flat top, an ascending bottom, more bullish than it is bearish. So this is a bullish setup, guys. Looking pretty bullish. We went above the zero line on the MACD. We're down, but we're now crossing back up. Guys, if this continues in this direction, look for more upside opportunity. My algorithm down here, Grok, says a buy on this one. So the last time it had a buy, it went from this level here up. So this buy, what will happen now? Let's just see what happens, okay? This is the daily chart. If I go here to the NASDAQ daily chart, I have not tweaked any lines on this yet, but do you see how we've gone up and down? I would add a line at this moment, go here, add a line there, and we're at major resistance right now. Do you see that? Hold on, are we? I gotta snap this. Okay, yeah, we're at major resistance. We're at major resistance there, and we have a little swing here going. Let me just make sure, could I draw that line? I'm gonna go to this line and go to here. I'm gonna do that. Go back to a line chart. Okay, I like this. All right, so there we have it. Big time triangle. This is a big time rising wedge. It needs to break above this or this rising. I mean, we got this line and this line both as rising wedges. We have to break up through this on the NASDAQ to stay solid in the business. If you look here, last time I had a buy on this one, we rallied up a few days. This one almost gave us a buy signal, almost dipped low enough to give us a buy signal. It did not. This one was a buy signal, and we had a major rally after that buy signal. Okay. If you let's look at small caps, the Russell's 2000. We had this little bear flag. Remember we talked about this bear flag in the last video. Look what it has done since then. Not so good. Really, really weak. We had a big pop here though, guys. So I want to look at a couple things. So remember, go to my last video a few weeks ago, and remember the bear flag. And I say this looks more bearish than it is bullish, and look what happened to it. That's worth looking at, right? To show how these things work. So now that I've got some new data here, I'm going to look and say this could go right here. I don't know if that's low. This thing could keep going down. You see how the price is staying below the moving averages? See all these moving averages? They're acting as resistance more than they're acting as support. That's of concern to me on the Russell's 2000. Again, we're looking at the daily chart on the Russell's 2000, and we need to bounce soon. We got a buy on this one, and on the buy it was short-lived. It went up a day or two and then dropped. So that's not great. So it's under a lot of pressure. Do you see how we were up here, we dropped down, and we're staying under. Small caps are staying under. So it's been very, very choppy here. I'm very interested to see what happens. So I'd like to drop and plot another trend line. I'm going to go here to there. Let's see if it makes sense. No, I cut this one off. That could be a jab, though. Jab and then a big drop. So that's not half bad, actually. But let me do this, not treat it as a jab and do that. But we miss out on all these, right? I could keep that, I guess. Let me tighten that and see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to go from this one down to that. And I like to snap these guys. just to see. So we did break that trend line today for the week. So Friday we got up above it. So that's hopeful. Symmetrical triangle. And we have a breakout here. Can we go up and break out of this one next? Because that should act as resistance. This MACD line needs to get above the 0 line. That's what needs to happen here. The RSI was very low and it's ticking higher. Not too bad. The financials were rock solid. Here's another, I said bear flag, look at this, and sure enough, it dropped up and dropped. But look how this line acted as perfect support. Again, these aren't tweaked numbers. I haven't tweaked these in a few weeks. These numbers, you'll be able to see this exact line, but look how it worked out perfectly. You need to learn to draw these trend lines. Look at the buy signal here. Buy signal here. We got a buy signal there, and then it went higher. We got a buy signal here. Will it go higher? It needs to get above these moving averages. MACD needs to get above this trend line. We got a histogram tick to the positive side. That's really good. So very, very good. What's happening with the US dollar? Oh no! See how we had this drop? So it dropped, but it came back and healed itself, and then we rallied back to this line. That's that jab I was referring to. I'm gonna look at something here. I could probably. Now I'm going to keep that jab. But US dollar broke a symmetrical triangle to the downside. No good. We're heading really in deep territory here down here. So it needs to come down and then bounce. And if it does, we'll get a buy signal here. But we have a lot of resistance up above. Someone asked me, why don't I look at DXY? And I'm like, yeah, no reason. We can look at DXY, which is the dollar. But gold really up today, took it on the chin. On Friday, down 1.5%. So we had this amazing rally this week in gold, and it come crashing down. Remember I was showing you the bearish divergence. Look how we drifted lower, we drifted lower, we drifted lower after that, and then, we got Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. From Tuesday all week, it went really bullish until Friday, and it sold off. Really, really big hit on big volume. We had a sell hit right now, so this has got a sell going on. And interesting, silver on the daily. Let's take a quick look at that. Now, remember we said, hey, divergence, watch out, watch out, watch out. Bam, bam. And then this week we try to claw back. Always pay attention to these divergences, guys. Right here is a case in point. Look at my last video, watch that, and then watch this on how it played itself out. There's actually a lot of good that comes out of not doing a video for a while, because you guys get to see what my lines were, what I was saying back then, and how it played out. That's why right now I have 18 people, that I think that might include me, so it might 17 in my mentorship this weekend. Thank you for all the people that come into our mentorship programs. We're here to serve you. We want our students developing faster and making more money than all the other trading students out there today. And we try to do our best to make that happen. Silver, up. As long as it stays above the moving averages here and these trend lines, I'm pretty happy with that. The VIX was down 16% at one point today. Now we're down over 14. A major sell-off. We went down below these lines. So these lines here just did not pan out. We do this, and just the trend lines. Let me do this and see if I like these. Okay, and we got a sell here on VIX. So the VIX looks like it's going to keep going lower. We got a crossover negative histogram tick on the MACD. RSI is going lower. So VIX is going lower. That means the market's going higher. That's what that means. A quick look at Bitcoin. If you look at this, we had this divergence. We talked about it. Sure enough, down, and now we're rallying back up. Rising wedge. So the rising wedge, it broke down as the rising wedge, and then it came up, acted as resistance, and it sold off. Do you guys see that? Broke down, acted as resistance, sold off. So I take this now and encapsulate the new data. Can't do that one. I need to do this one. And still in a rising wedge. I can delete these now because the divergences played out. And had a buy back here, and sure enough, it went higher after the buy. Pulled back a little bit, and it's going higher again. Bitcoin right now is at 29,600. 29,600. Quick look at a couple other charts, guys. Quick look at a couple other charts. I got to move some things around so I can see my chart, my stuff. Go to a weekly chart on the spiders to see what happened. Remember the death hook I was telling you guys about? Death hook never played out, so that's a good thing. I wanted to, if the death hook played itself out and it happened, I wanted to do a video before it happened so everybody could see it play out in what I was looking for. Never came out, so it's fine. We went higher. We had this breakout, so we come here, we chop, we hit the ceiling, hit the floor. We got a gap down, run up, and then a pop, and then a big candlestick to break that trend line. Boom, we go higher. We got two hanging men in a row and almost a tweezer top. Not so great on the weekly. So even though we buying up those lows, the question is, are these two hanging men together, or is that going to spell a reversal? The VIX says no, but the MACD says yes, we're rolling over. And then we're dropping here on the algorithm. So that's interesting. If I go to the NASDAQ, take this, we're just up, high base. We're starting to pop. It's telling me we got more upside opportunity here, but I got a ton of sell triggers here. Do you see that? Sell. Last time I had it sell here, we drop. So we had a sell here. We really dropped. I got two sells together there. That's no bueno. Not good. Russell's 2000, do this. We drop. We up. Now we acted as resistance, and we're staying above or below the moving averages. We're staying below the zero line on the MACD. But we had buy signals down here, and it's trying to go higher, but it's not happening. Last time we got buy signals, we had a nice pop. We're not seeing that yet. Financials, XLF. Check this out. Support, resistance. We broke support at resistance, and we're heading back down. This is XLF for the week. It was really bearish this week, guys, but try to rally back. But this is no good for the market. See this? MACD, we went down below the zero line. We went up, trying to come up, but we stopped below the zero line, and now we're getting ready to cross over to head down, and that means a big leg down. The financials drop, guys. Everybody else drops. You can see we had a buy signal right there. The buy signal popped up, but it hit too much resistance. The buy signal was not strong enough to get to that resistance. I'm watching the 200-day big red right here coming across to say, hey, if we do get below it, do we get a back above it immediately? Big red is something we want to pay attention to. If 200-day. 200-day, I mean, this dude, I wonder if I were to make this 200-day like a 220 or something. Let me see something. Let's make this 220, and I just want to see what happens here. But yeah, I'm going to stay 200. That's traditional. But on certain ETFs and stocks, what I'll do is I'll tailor my moving averages to what the price action warrants or what the price action actually respects. US dollar weekly chart broke a trend line this week, guys. That's bad news. This week, the US dollar broke this trend line. No bueno. Bad news. It's on the wrong side of this trend line. So US dollar goes down. That means gold will go up. Even though gold should have been going down, we had this divergence and we dropped a few weeks, but nothing significant. But we did have a sell here. The sell was short-lived. It just didn't pan out. At least yet. I shouldn't delete those yet because this thing is still showing me a divergence. Oh man, I did delete them. I shouldn't have deleted them. We still have a divergence. You see how we're going up? It's just an extended divergence. So if I do this, we're still diverged. We're still diverged. So I'm going to keep that. We're topping out here, guys, in gold and silver. But if the US dollar, I was looking at US dollar, if it gets weak, buy gold and silver, it's going to be really well. It's really going to do well. But the VIX weekly, guys, was insanely bullish. At one point, we were way up here. It was a brutal week, and then it comes screaming back down for the week. You guys see that? And now we have a buy signal on the weekly. So we had a buy signal on this candlestick, buy, and then we did go big time bullish right after that. But on Friday, I mean, it dropped 14%. Wow. Dropped 14%. So there it is. I have a video to share with everybody at the end of this video that I think is pretty fun. But in the class today, we mentioned about emotion. So I want to have a mentor moment here and get serious and say that if you are a trader in the markets, that you need to have a trading plan. 99% of you do not have a trading plan. What is a trading plan? Piece of paper with what you look for, what you trade, how you trade it, how you exit, okay? How you enter, how you exit, which trades you take versus which ones you don't, all the rules. Meaning that you could give that to your spouse and your spouse could copy your trading easily. That's the key. Okay, now, how do you know you have a good trading plan? I'm saying do not use a trading plan unless it is full of rules. But not just rules. They have to be full of great rules. You don't have great rules unless you have rules that increase probabilities. So if you have rules that increase your probabilities in the markets, then your trading plan is filled with great rules, and you can now use your trading plan and do so with confidence and never deviate from it. If you want to separate yourself from amateurs, follow a strict plan that's full of great rules. Those rules increase your probabilities as a trader in the markets. Okay, do we understand that? Like the video, it doesn't cost you anything to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for doing that. I take my time to do these things, and I appreciate the likes and comments. I try to comment on all of those coming in. Now, I'm going to go further. The best students in the markets, the best traders in the market, the best investors in the marketplace have two very big things in common. And let me explain to you what this is. One, they have great discipline. Two, they have great emotional resolve. What do I mean by discipline? A disciplined trader, investor will have a plan, will design that plan, will ensure the plan is packed full with probability stacked rules, okay? Somebody that's not disciplined will not take the time to do that. A disciplined person will not only create it, but will follow it meticulously. Why? Because they're disciplined. So the best investors and traders are disciplined people. That is a byproduct, following the trading plan, designing it, one, building it, and being confident in it is good. But number two is following it, okay? The other part is a strong emotional resolve. What happens to most weak traders is emotions. If you are a weak investor, a weak trader, you will be highly emotional. That means you will have fear set in, you will have greed set in, you will be an individual that doesn't want a trading plan because you don't want to be boxed in. You want to be able to, you want to put your own bets on the table. You want to make your own gambles, okay, in the marketplace. That is it's going to be a very expensive hobby. Trading is going to be a very expensive hobby going down that route. I've been trading over 20 years in the markets, training over 17 years. I know this emphatically. So the third thing I want to talk about, discipline, emotional resolve, and is never wearing the victim hat. If you wear the victim hat, you can't be helped anymore. You can't be helped anymore. It's a hopeless place to be, because once you are the victim and you assume that role, you take on that role, you wear that hat, and you adopt it, you won't progress anymore. You won't learn anymore. You now put the focus off of you and you put it on yourself. I went to OpenAI and I said, tell me the traits of someone that is a victim and who wears the victim and has the victim mentality. And he said, blaming others. They tend to blame others for their actions or decisions, even if the fault lies with them. They believe that other people are responsible for their own mistakes and failures. Lack of accountability. They avoid taking responsibility for their actions and instead look for someone else to blame. They don't admit when they're wrong, and they don't take steps to make amends for their mistakes. Victim mentality. They see themselves as victims of circumstances rather as agents who can make their own choices and take control of their lives. They may believe that the world is against them and that they are powerless to change things. They have this negative attitude. They tend to have a negative outlook on life and may see themselves as being always unlucky or disadvantaged. They may dwell on past failures and setbacks and have difficulty moving on. And they tend to have a lack of empathy. They may not be able to put themselves in other people's shoes and understand how their actions affect others. They may not consider how their behavior impacts others and may have difficulty seeing things from other perspectives. If you are a trader in the market, an investor, and you put your money on the line, whose responsibility is it if you lose money in the markets? It's not the market's problems. It's not the market maker's problem. The market maker's not out to get you. The brokers aren't out to get you. The market isn't out to get you. The market doesn't, our trades that we put on are minuscule in the marketplace. They're not noticed, they're not seen. You wear the victim mentality, or a person wears the victim mentality when they don't want to take ownership of their own actions. Take ownership of your own actions. If you buy something and it doesn't do what you want and you sell it, you bought it, you sold it, it's not the problem of the markets. It's not the problem of the market maker. It's not the problem of the broker. It's not the problem of your wife or your husband or whatever. It's no one's problem but your own. So when you're making decisions in the marketplace, when you're making decisions as an investor, be sure to be highly informed, educated. Make sure that you are in a position to, when you're trading in the markets, that you are armed with the best specialized knowledge that's out there. Having the best trading plan in place. Having the trading plan with the best rules inside of that. Having the rules that have the best probabilities that serve you and your trading well. So what do we not want to do? We don't want to be undisciplined. We don't want to be ran by our emotions. And we don't want to ever be the victim. If you wear those hats or you do those things, nothing good comes from that. I hope that speaks to somebody today. Take care. Watch this video.
Remember, it's a 30-minute fight. You ready to drop?
Get ready.
That's the money shot. That's the money shot. You're doing good, man. Hang in there.
And that's why we get up early, boys.
Ready?
Let's go.
Does it help?
Yeah. Feel a lot better. What did that hit?
With the sun coming up.
Yep.
That's the epic.
In that pretty background.
Epic.
Good job. Doing good. Doing good work. If you had to guess, what size is that? Gas 80, 90. We'll know more once it gets closer, though. Woo! It's grinding, boys. Yes, sir. They're still rolling right here. Oh, yeah.
He's graying underway.
Try to get that legal catch on him.
Okay.
Before I walk for one.
Oh, man, the power on this thing.
They wore me up. Alright, let's start spinning this.
I can tell you this is an epic video.
Well, look at that pull, man.
You could be on this for 30 minutes or so. Oh yeah.
We're 5 minutes into it.
My goal is to get it faster.
Robert's ready if you need to tap out.
I'm not tapping. No need to rush it.
Okay.
No need to rush it. Do your thing. Work that sucker.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable.
Pretty sweet, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, the power. Look at this.
It's like a walleye.
A walleye stuck on a log.
Big fish only, baby. Come on. I like it.
Oh, man, guys, this is
This is
I
a
can't
beast.
believe
You caught the freak of the group, dude.
this is a... Whew, yeah.
Pull and reel.
Oh, he's fighting back. He is fighting back.
There he is right there.
You see him?
Yep, he's right on top. That leader line, yeah, that's his tail right there.
There he is, right there.
Crank that
Oh
one.
my God!
Yeah, one more crank down.
One more crank, you got the leader
There
tap.
we go, baby. 1 for 1 on big boys.
Nice job.
Big boy.
Yeah, if you're gonna want a picture, that's gonna be another half hour.
All right, that's a legal catch. Now we're going for the photo.
Was that a legal catch?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, tournament. If we were in a target tournament, we could pop him and get back on him. That's a legal catch, baby. Nice job.
Now the real men show up.
Oh, there he is. He's right here. Anytime he sees us, he's gone.
Yeah, he'll do that a few times. He's a big boy.
So now that you saw him, what's his weight?
Between 80 and 100. Maybe more. I'll be able to tell you when I get a hold of him.
Oh man, it helps sitting down.
Yeah, I should have been on that yesterday. Lock in, baby, lock in. Yeah, there's no drag coming out.
Look at this thing. Are you kidding
Oh, I got
me?
that on video from 2 feet away.
Did you? Oh, power. He's fighting now. He's using all of his energy. This is a fight.
I like it. Having fun?
Having fun.
Amen.
Come on, brother.
You're doing good,
That's a
man.
rugby player for you.
Come on, bro. Quit pinwheeling. You're just spinning in circles around.
He's spinning, yeah.
He's
down there. See him?
Oh yeah, there he is.
Oh, I'm at the. Look at this. I'm at the. I caught him twice, guys.
That is. I got. Oh my God. Yeah. He's gonna do that about 5 more times, Des. On a muscle up, Buttercup.
Should I try to drag it off?
You can do it a couple of clicks.
Look at that fish. That's instant worthy. Look at this beauty. He's out. He's leaving. Like, screw you guys.
They were up into that stud and they were like, hey man, I want some of that.
Oh man, this is an unbelievable fish, guys. I can't believe he's got this much fight in him.
Yep, they're strong, man. Powerful fish.
Look at this thing, guys.
That is.
Around.
That is.
He got us again.
Yeah. Jeep fun with the big gun.
Oh, baby, let's go.
Get him photo time.
A beauty. Oh, he's giving up the ghost. He's giving up the ghost.
All right.
Let me let out some bell.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, clear.
Photo time.
got him.
Photo time, dude.
Got him.
Photo time.
Okay.